Look at this amazing view. That's what you see when you climb. The Bible says this: who can ascend the hill of the Lord? Who gets to have the amazing big picture view of what God can see? You know, we get so stuck in the mire, in the rut of daily life, and we can barely see the wood for the trees. Sometimes the rut is so deep it's actually a lot more like a grave. We want a big picture view. Who can ascend the hill of the Lord? He who has clean hands and a pure heart. Let's go higher. So when you get higher, you see a whole lot better. Elisha said to his servant, "Don't worry, there are more people for us than against us." And the servant said, "You're kidding. Look at the armies arranged around the hills." And God said, "Pray." And Elisha prayed, and his servant's eyes were opened. And suddenly he saw what Elisha could see. He had a bigger picture. He was standing on higher ground. And he said, "You know what? Those who are for us are more than those against us." He got God's perspective. Shall we go higher? Let's go higher. It's a good view, but there's always more to see. What are you looking at today? Are you looking at the minute problems of life? I know they look big. That health issue, that relationship that's just not working, that job situation that you're so anxious about, the red numbers in the bank balance. They look huge, insurmountable problems, giants. Come up higher. Come up higher with God. See it from His picture. See it from His perspective. And see what the giants look like now. Okay, so this is the highest point in these small hills around here. It's very girly, it's pink. I don't know why they did that. But it's noticeable, it's recognizable. And you know what? When we've been stuck in the mud, when we've been walking along the path with all this kind of stuff on it, and it's got a bit messy, and maybe a bit smelly, and we felt a bit trapped, and suddenly God has brought us up out of the mire. He's hooked us with his rod and his staff, and he's pulled us out of the ditch, and we get this amazing view. Here's what you need to do. Maybe not in pink, but put yourself a stone, put yourself a memorial, put something you can come back to and say, God did this for me. Because we're really quick to forget. And last week's miracle suddenly turns into this week's insurmountable problem, and we've forgotten what God did. Just like when they crossed the Red Sea. They'd seen this extraordinary victory, this extraordinary deliverance, and within days they're turning to Moses and saying, why did you bring us out of Egypt to die? God's deserted us. And Joshua knew that, and when they crossed the Jordan 40 years later, they'd done this amazing miracle of crossing through on dry land, and they got through and they all breathed a sigh of relief. And you know what Joshua did? He told the leaders, go back, get back in there. Get back in there and pick out the biggest stones you can find, because in the coming generations people are going to ask, did God really do it? And you're going to take them by the scruff of the neck and lead them to this big pile of rocks and say, God did it. Here's the evidence. Build your faith. That's what God does. Get yourself some pink paint and make yourself a memorial stone. And look at the view.